Hey, let's talk about Prep-Tember. What is Prep-Tember? Well, it's basically Preptober, but in September. For those of you who know, NaNoWriMo is in November, which is in 2 months, and I have a lot of prep work to do. And I know myself, there is no way that I'm going to be able to do all of that in October for Preptober. So I'm going to basically extend that into September, hence Preptember. So I'm going to walk you guys through my writer's notebook and then the 2 notebooks that I'm going through for the month of September. My plan is September will be like the world building, the figuring out the settings, figuring out like the magic system, the education, the society, basically everything to do with world building. That's what I'm doing in the month of September. And while that has a lot, I've gone through starting today and kind of individualized like what portion or section of world building I'm going to be doing per day. And then starting the last week of September, all the way to October is when I'm going to be focusing on the outlines as well as the character arcs. So it's not, and I do say outlines because I am going to try and outline all 5 books. That way, when I finally sit down and start writing book 1 in November, I kind of know what I want to foreshadow. I want to know what needs to happen in book 1 to kind of set off the domino effects. That way I don't have to go through and do it later. I'm trying to make it to where when I finally sit down and write this time around, it's going to be easier. I know because it's going to be technically a first draft, it's still not going to be the greatest, but I'll have more of a grasp of my world, which is what hindered my last NaNoWriMo, is I kind of just wrote and kind of made up things along the way that didn't even make sense. So I wrote about 50,000 words with that and then completely trashed it. Like, I'm legit starting all over. I even think I'm going to change some character names. Because when I had originally made up the names, I was in 5th grade. So like I made up names in 5th grade, but I think I changed them in 8th grade. No. I changed like the boys' names, I think, but the girls' names have been the same since I was in 5th grade, which was over a decade ago. But it's fine. It's fine. So, I think I'm gonna change that, and I'm also gonna change like the names, like the names of like the good guys and the bad guys, like what they're called, like their organization. I don't know. But basically there's good guys and bad guys, and I need to think of a name to call them, like a group name. So yeah, like I'm essentially starting all over, but the main points that I've written that I still really love and I think they will enhance the storyline, I'm still going to keep. But the minor details and some of the major ones are definitely changing. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to show you the notebooks, or the notebook, because right now I'm just doing it all in my regular writer's notebook. If you've seen my previous videos before, I do have this, which is my series Bible, but this is where most of like the finalized details will go. I'm not going to do any brainstorming in this. Just because it is something that I have to keep for all 5 of the books. I don't want to, some things that I do think are important that are technically brainstorming, but it's like an idea to put in a future book. I will put in here, like I'll have a set page for each book, I think, but the main brainstorming is going to be done in this, and then once this is done, because I think I have like, yeah, I only have this much space left, and when you see my September calendar, which is right here, it's gonna take more than those pages. I do have another notebook exactly like this, but the cover is yellow, for me to continue and then also start my October in. Yeah, so and I'm also this month working from 2 workbooks. I don't know if I said that, but I'm going to show you those and then we're going to get started. Okay, so here's my writer's notebook, and then these are the 2 books that I'm going to be working from. I'm not directly writing inside of them. I'm going to do all my notes in here. So we have 30 Days of Worldbuilding by A. Trevina. And then From Sanctity to Sorcery by the same author. So I will link these below if I remember. I got them off at Amazon. So this is basically my catch-all, brainstorming everything. I have tabs for everything specific. And yeah, so we are just gonna focus on this spread. This is my September monthly spread, and basically what I did was in the table of contents, I went through and I kind of just either grouped some of these together for it to fit in the 27 days that I wanted to be able to complete all of these, and I just separated it, made it easier on myself, just so that I know what needs to be done when. So, and because there's technically 3 sections, because this one has a bonus section, and so that's why I color coordinated it here, so I knew which book it came from or what section. And yeah, so without much of anything else, this is basically my plan for September. So today is August 30th. From day 1 of the world building workbook and the bonus section, I have to focus on genre and setting. So I'm gonna brainstorm and figure out what I want my setting to be. And the genre, honestly, I struggle with that. I think it's gonna be a urban fantasy. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, I'm gonna work on setting and then I'll figure out the genre part later. But in this book, my focus is basically the religion and the magic. So religion and magic alongside one another, how society influences religion and magic, and as well as how religion and magic influence society, and then weaponizing religion and magic. So if we go through and look at the table of contents, it's basically these first 4 things, and the reason why I grouped them together is because I'm just talking about the magic and the religion. So like how they're going to work together. Are they going to work opposed or like opposite of each other, or are they going to work well together? Do they just ignore each other? Things like that. And since I'm already thinking about that, it'll be easier to get the 4 done all at once. So yeah, and then it kind of just continues. So the bonus section only had 8, so I kind of like paired those up where I saw fitting, because that's, I mean, I'm not gonna just go through it. And I will say that between the 2 books, there are some things that are kind of repetitive, but I think that that repetition will help me kind of finalize the details, or at least finalize as much as I can without actually writing the book. So, but yeah, so from August 30th to September 25th is when I'm going to be working on the world building, and then starting September 26th through October 31st is when I will be focusing on the outlines and the character arcs themselves. So yeah, that's it. So basically I'm just gonna go through, and like today I'm gonna put day 1 genre and setting / bonus genre and setting, and then for the subject next will be religion and magic alongside one another, and I'm kind of just gonna go through that. So if you want to follow along, subscribe down below and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified every time I do post. My goal as of right now is to post daily, and then kind of go from there, because this is something that I do need to do. This is something I have to be serious about. So let's just get to it. Well, there you have it. Kind of just a quick intro to Prep-Tember and my plans. Let me know if you guys plan on doing something like this down in the comments. I would also like to know how you guys are prepping for NaNoWriMo. If you're prepping, you can be a pantser. Comment that down below too. It's interesting to see, because I used to be a pantser and then not so much now, because obviously with a 5-book series, you kind of have to plan things out. You can't just wing it, because I want to know what I need to foreshadow and like create that domino effect. So yeah, and then if you have questions, comment them down below as well. This is just like a quick intro. Like I said, it's just a quick intro for Prep-Tember, and then I will see you guys every day with a new video, hopefully as long as life doesn't get too crazy, where I world build. Like, I'm actually doing this. I'm excited. It's been on my mind for the last couple months, and now I'm finally able to just sit down and do it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I will see you in the next one.